I kept sharing the cat meme, like not the cat meme, it's the cat emoji. We're like, oh! That's my favorite emoji, where I'm like, oh, person who wrote to me said that they worked on the set of It Ends With Us, okay? And that the villain in this entire story is not Blake Lively. It's not Justin Baldoni, but it is Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan started the fire!
Allegedly. Don't gag order or sue me, Ryan Reynolds, okay? I don't want to be involved in your drama. I'm just telling my audience what I was told. He goes into Blake Lively's trailer and they have an argument. All of the production assistants overheard the argument, okay?
What if I told you Hollywood's ultimate power couple, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, might be teetering on the edge of a career cliff, and the guy pushing them there is the underdog nobody saw coming? Justin Baldoni, the director and co-star of It Ends With Us, has turned a messy lawsuit into a full-on showdown that's shaking Tinseltown. This isn't just another celebrity spat, it's a roller coaster of legal twists, PR disasters, and a public flip that's got everyone buzzing. So how did we get here? It all ignited in December 2024 when Blake Lively unleashed a legal bombshell against Justin Baldoni, her director and co-star in the steamy drama It Ends With Us. The filing hit like a thunderclap. 80 pages of accusations claiming Baldoni had turned their set into a pressure cooker of harassment and intimidation. Lively alleged he'd crossed every line imaginable: inappropriate comments, invasive behavior, even pushing for reshoots of intimate scenes she'd begged to nix. When she stood her ground, she said he retaliated, smearing her name to the crew, tanking her morale, and plotting to derail her career post-production. This wasn't just a workplace spat, it was a full-on war cry from Hollywood's golden girl, painting Baldoni as the villain in a story tailor-made for outrage. The headlines erupted overnight. Blake Lively takes down toxic director, screamed one. Me Too hits It Ends With Us set, blared another. Fans flooded X with support. Believe Blake trended for days, racking up thousands of posts calling Baldoni a creep who'd finally been exposed. A-listers jumped in too. Reese Witherspoon tweeted a cryptic, "Stand tall, ladies," while Margot Robbie gave an interview praising Lively's courage. It was a tidal wave of solidarity, and Baldoni's rep drowned in it fast. Insiders buzzed that his directing days were over. Studios wouldn't touch him, they said. He'd be lucky to helm a low-budget ad for toothpaste after this mess. The film, meant to be a glossy romance about love's messy edges, morphed into a scandal magnet instead. But the heat didn't stop at social media. Whispers from the It Ends With Us set had been simmering for months. Crew members hinting at tension, leaked snippets of Lively looking drained at rap parties. Some said Baldoni's pushy directing style clashed with her star power from day one. Others claimed it was a power grab gone wrong. He'd wanted creative control, she'd wanted veto power, and the whole thing blew up. Lively's lawsuit leaned hard into that narrative.
Now, what was at the root of that argument, we don't know, but we can assume it had something to do with what he saw in these dailies, what he read in the script. Who even knows what led him to even visit on this day? And the person says that from that day forward, he started involving himself, that he basically became a chaperone for her on set. He was there basically every day, involved in the projects, wanting to rewrite lines, and suddenly Ryan Reynolds was trying to wrangle this project from Justin Baldoni, okay?
She wasn't just a victim, she was a warrior, taking down a bully who'd underestimated her clout. The public ate it up. Here was their Gossip Girl icon, their rom-com queen, swinging back at a guy who dared to dim her shine. Baldoni's name became toxic. His IMDb page got vandalized with canceled edits. Yet, beneath the noise, cracks were already forming. This wasn't the whole picture, not even close. Then Justin Baldoni roared back, and it was a gut punch that left jaws on the floor. Barely a week after Lively's lawsuit set Hollywood ablaze, he didn't just deny her claims, he dropped a countersuit that hit like a freight train. This wasn't a flimsy, "No, I didn't." It was a 100-page legal haymaker stuffed with evidence that flipped the script in seconds. Text messages, emails, call logs, even sworn statements from crew members. It was a mountain of proof, painting a scene miles apart from Lively's tear-jerking tale. Baldoni's team claimed she'd spun a web of half-truths and they had the receipts to prove it. The internet froze. Could Hollywood's darling have misfired this badly? The star of the show? A slew of texts that ripped Lively's narrative to shreds. Those damning messages she'd paraded where Baldoni allegedly berated her suddenly looked like snippets yanked out of context. One leaked exchange had her joking with him mid-shoot. "You're killing me with these takes, save some charm for the camera." Baldoni fired back, "Only if you stop dazzling the crew first." All chummy, all casual, hardly the vibe of a woman under siege. Another email thread showed her greenlighting a scene she later claimed traumatized her. With a chipper "looks perfect, let's roll," witnesses piled on gaffers, assistants, even a makeup artist, saying the set was tense but professional, not a harassment hellscape. Lively's story started crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide. Social media detonated. X lit up with sleuths dissecting every crumb Baldoni's team leaked. Black Lives started trending alongside screen caps of those texts, racking up millions of views. Fans who'd rallied for her flipped hard. "She played us," one viral post fumed. "Those emojis she cut out changed everything." Baldoni's camp didn't stop there. They fed the frenzy, drip-dropping snippets to outlets like TMZ and Variety, each one a dagger to Lively's cred. Insiders marveled at the pivot. He'd gone from cancel to counterpuncher overnight. Was Lively stretching the truth to torch him? Or had she underestimated a guy who'd kept every digital breadcrumb?
Which is Endeavor. It's also called Endeavor. It is the biggest talent agency in the world. Every celebrity is under there, from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni, and said, it's us or it's him. Like, you're going to drop Justin Baldoni or you're going to lose all of us. And obviously that has a little bit of weight at Endeavor if you're friends with Taylor Swift. Ryan Reynolds, this is his thing. He's a Taylor Swift of the movie industry. When he gets upset with somebody, he puts them into a script.
Baldoni wasn't just playing defense. He'd flipped the board and gone full offense. His lawyer, Brian Fredman, strutted into the press with a smirk, promising, "The real story's just beginning. This was war, and they were out for blood." Rumors swirled he'd hired a crisis PR firm weeks earlier, prepping this takedown while Lively's team basked in early wins. Every move screamed calculation. The countersuit wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a reputation shredder aimed at her A-list arm. The question buzzed everywhere. What else did he have up his sleeve? One thing was clear, this fight was about to get uglier. The courtroom turned into a brutal battleground, and Justin Baldoni began stacking wins like he was directing his own gritty comeback flick. What started as a slow burn exploded into a legal blitz, with judges handing Lively's team a string of gut-wrenching losses. First up, her desperate plea for a gag order meant to muzzle Baldoni's leaks got torched by Judge Lyman in a single hearing. "Not a chance," he reportedly snapped, citing free speech over her team's flimsy privacy argument. Next, her protective claims, demands to shield her from Baldoni's countersuit, crumbled when the court ruled them unsubstantiated. Baldoni's squad wasn't just winning, they were rewriting the narrative, one ruling at a time. His lawyer, Brian Fredman, strutted out of a sealed January 2025 session like he just won an Oscar, gripping a dossier of fresh evidence that blew holes in Lively's story. Sources say it was a bombshell. Unedited text threads showing her laughing off Baldoni's pushy notes with a "lawyer relentless," a far cry from the terrorized star she'd pitched. Whispers raced through legal circles. She'd allegedly scrubbed emojis, lopped off playful banter, even axed whole conversations to craft her victim vibe. One insider dish, she handed them a smoking gun, thinking it'd bury him. Now it's backfiring. Fredman didn't hold back, teasing reporters with, "We've got more where that came from." Each courtroom smackdown tightened the noose around Lively's case. The hits kept coming. Another judge slashed Lively's request to delay discovery, her team's stalling tactic, forcing her to cough up docs she'd hoped to bury. Baldoni's crew pounced, unearthing emails where she'd praise his vision mid-production, contradicting her harassment cries. The vibe in the courthouse shifted hard. Clerks smirked, spectators buzzed, and Lively's once ironclad claims started looking like a house of cards caught in a Category 5 windstorm. Legal analysts on X call it a masterclass in counteroffense. Baldoni wasn't just defending himself, he was dismantling her whole playbook.
He and 9 other plaintiffs, including his publicists, have brought a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, essentially alleging them of libel and false light invasion of privacy. So Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, he told BBC's partner CBS that the newspaper aided and abetted a smear campaign designed to revitalise Lively's floundering image.
Her lawyer scrambled, filing frantic motions, but the damage piled up fast. The air crackled with tension. Every ruling fueled the chatter. Was Lively's team out of moves? Had Baldoni sniffed out their bluff from day one? Fans who'd once cheered her on started doubting posts like, "Wait, did she fake this?" Racked up likes by the thousands. Baldoni's victories weren't just technical, they were personal, chipping away at her Hollywood halo with surgical precision. His team played it cool, but the swagger was undeniable. They'd turned a PR nightmare into a legal juggernaut. Lively's camp, meanwhile, looked shell-shocked, their golden aura fading under the courtroom lights. And what happened next would leave everyone reeling. Panic crashed over Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds like a tidal wave. Insiders spilled that the couple's in full-on meltdown mode, holed up in their LA mansion, snapping at their high-priced PR team to stitch their squeaky clean image back together before it's charred beyond recognition. They're freaking out, one source dished. Blake's pacing, Ryan's pacing. They know this isn't just a lawsuit anymore, it's a guillotine. Their once unshakable Hollywood glow, built on charm, quips, and a string of box office hits, started flickering as Baldoni's wins piled up. The orders flew fast. Spin this, bury that, make them love us again. But their next move? It was a faceplant nobody saw coming. They rolled the dice and strutted into SNL's 50th anniversary bash in February 2025, grinning like the legal storm was just a pesky rain cloud. Bad call. The star-studded crowd, think Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, a who's who of comedy royalty, was there to celebrate, not coddle, a PR crisis. Reynolds, ever the Joker, grabbed the mic during a sketch break and tossed out a sarcastic zinger. Legal dramas, the real Deadpool villain. Keeps me sharper than Wolverine's claws. Crickets. The room went arctic. Faces stiffened. Laughs died mid-breath. Paul McCartney, bless him, nodded politely and swapped small talk, but most A-listers swerved hard. Sources clocked Tom Hanks beelining for the bar, Amy Poehler whispering to Maya Rudolph, eyes darting anywhere but their table. It was like they'd crashed a party they weren't invited to, one attendee snarked. They lingered till the bitter end, sipping drinks alone as the vibe screamed, "Get out now." The fallout hit like a sledgehammer. X erupted with clips of Reynolds' flop. Cringe King trended as users piled on. Read the room, dude. One racked up 50K likes. This is their "we're fine" flex? Yikes. Lively's team scrambled to pivot, but she doubled down with a head scratcher. A lawsuit amendment filed days later, cramming in new allegations. Some hazy claim about Baldoni intimidating extras. Another about fans smell blood in the water. This is desperate. A top comment sneered. She's throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Justin says that Blake was determined to make him the real-life villain in her story because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone-deaf. Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence. Justin says the war between himself and Blake really started in May 2023 when they started shooting the movie. He claims that she was organizing a takeover strategy.
Critics pounced too. Variety called it a Hail Mary with no prayer, while TMZ dug up a source saying her lawyers begged her to hold off. It didn't just tank, it boomeranged, fueling whispers she was grasping at straws to dodge Baldoni's knockout punches. Their inner circles buzzing with dread. Blake spiraling. She can't believe it's this bad, a friend leaked. Ryan's trying to play cool, but he's rattled. Their PR machine, usually a well-oiled beast, sputtered. Press releases flopped. Photo ops felt staged. That SNL night wasn't just a misstep, it was a neon sign flashing out of touch. The couple who charmed their way through gin ads and rom-coms now looked like deer in headlights, scrambling to outrun a scandal they couldn't joke away. Baldoni's team watched with glee, knowing every fumble handed them more ammo. And the real kicker? This was just the start of their unraveling. The tide didn't just turn, it flipped upside down with a vengeance. Social media, once a fortress of Team Blake loyalists, went absolutely feral for Justin Baldoni overnight. What started as a trickle of doubt swelled into a full-blown tsunami as fans traded pitchforks for magnifying glasses. X became a war zone. Justice for Justin shot to the top trends, racking up over 300K posts in 48 hours, while Blakely trailed close behind with screen caps of those leaked texts lighting up feeds. She cropped out the LOLs and heart emojis, caught red-handed, one viral thread blasted, snagging 80K retweets. Another user raged, "This is peak Hollywood gaslighting," pinning Lively's SNL smirk as Exhibit A. Baldoni wasn't just clawing back, he was rewriting the rules of the game. Content creators smelled blood and dove in headfirst. YouTubers like Drama Sleuth and Popcorn Planet churned out hour-long exposés dissecting old Lively Reynolds interviews for crumbs of arrogance. One unearthed a 2018 clip of Reynolds smirking about handling a co-star who stepped out of line. Suddenly, it wasn't so funny. TikTok sleuths stitched together montages of Lively's red carpet quips, sniffing out a pattern, the couple flexing their A-list muscle to bulldoze anyone in their way. They've been power tripping for years, a creator with 2 million followers declared, pairing it with a smug Deadpool gif. Clips of Reynolds' SNL flub, that legal drama zinger, got roasted into oblivion, racking up millions of views with captions like, "Bro, sit down and cringe so loud I felt it in my..." The pile-on was relentless. Then came the insider bombshell that torched Lively's camp. Taylor Swift, her ride-or-die BFF, had reportedly ghosted her cold. Sources close to the pop queen spilled to Page Six that Swift was livid. Lively's team tried dragging her name into the PR mess. Think subtle Instagram unfollows and a pointed absence from Lively's usual gushy birthday posts.
Got a TikTok tip. Wow, that was amazing to say. I want to say it again. I got a TikTok tip, and had a conversation with somebody who runs the Be Better company. You guys might know him, Marcos. We're going to get to him in an email that he sent me. And there's an amazing fact here in that this TikToker, Marcos, who runs the Be Better company, actually was Team Blake Lively when this all began. And then did this crazy thing called reading Justin Baldoni's countersuit.
Taylor's done, one insider hissed. She hates messy drama, and Blake's turned this into a circus. Swifties pounced, flooding comments with "Karma's a bitch" lyrics, while gossip rags ran wild. Had the Ultimate Girl Squad imploded? Lily's inner circle shrank fast, and the optics stung worse than any court loss. Baldoni, meanwhile, played it like a maestro, calm, cool, and armed to the teeth with receipts. His approach was surgical. No rants, no meltdowns, just a steady drip of evidence that gutted Lively's claims. That joking text, he let it simmer online, then followed with a crew affidavit calling the set chill, not chaotic. His ex-bio stayed humble, director, dreamer, truth seeker. While his team fed outlets like a chess grandmaster moving pawns. Analysts marvel at the pivot. He's not just winning hearings, he's winning hearts, one damning screenshot at a time. Fans ate it up, dubbing him the Quiet King in comments that piled up by the thousands. His underdog glow was undeniable, turning doubters into devotees with every calculated step. The frenzy hit fever pitch, Baldoni's Instagram likes tripled, Lively's took a nosedive as bots and haters swarmed her grid, Reynolds' gin brand even copped flack because boycott aviation trended briefly after a snarky Deadpool's drunk on denial meme went viral. This wasn't a PR skirmish anymore, it was a cultural U-turn. And Baldoni rode the wave like he'd scripted it himself. Lively and Reynolds, once untouchable, watched their kingdom wobble as the mob turned. But that wasn't even the wildest twist waiting in the wings. The stakes in this showdown are downright insane. It's a bare-knuckle fight for survival, and everyone's got everything to lose. For Justin Baldoni, It Ends With Us wasn't just a gig, it was his golden ticket up Hollywood's brutal ladder. At 41, he's still the scrappy dreamer. Years of TV roles in Jane the Virgin and indie passion projects finally paid off with this glossy directorial breakout. A $250 million box office haul should have cemented him as a rising star, but if he crashes here, it's curtains. Insiders warn he'd be blacklisted faster than you can say cancellation. Studios would ditch him, financiers would ghost, and his name would be poisoned. One wrong move, and he's directing YouTube shorts for free, a producer quipped. This isn't a setback, it's do or die.
Asking for the gag order and explaining how he's talking too much. He's threatening to post stuff on public sites. So what I think is this looks good for Baldoni, right? He's like, we want to make it all public. And sometimes lawyers can do this knowing that they can't actually do what they say they're going to do.
Lively and Reynolds, though, they're playing in a whole different league, with empires that dwarf Baldoni's dreams. Between them, they've got a $400 million lawsuit on the table, a slate of blockbusters like Deadpool and Wolverine raking in billions, and endorsement deals, think Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile, that pad their net worth past 9 figures. Blake's rom-com queen status and Ryan's snarky superhero charm built a brand so bulletproof it's been the envy of Tinseltown for a decade. But here's the catch. Reputation's the real currency in this game, and theirs is hemorrhaging. Words trickling out, they've already taken hits, 2 Netflix projects quietly shelved, a PepsiCo campaign on hold, per Variety leaks, brands don't mess with scandal, and ad exec shrugged. They're regular active right now. The fallout spreading fast. Lively's It Ends With Us press glow faded into whispers of diva drama, while Reynolds' golden boy grin isn't landing like it used to. His latest Instagram promo got ratioed with settle it clown comments. Agents are sweating. A top-tier director reportedly nixed Lively from a rom-com reboot, muttering she's too hot to handle. Their empire's wobbling, and Hollywood's not subtle about it. Paparazzi caught a CAA exec dodging their calls at Chateau Marmont. Settling with Baldoni might patch the bleeding, but it'd cost a fortune, think 8 figures, and scream guilt to a public already side-eyeing them. Digging in, though, that's a gamble on total implosion. Losing court, and they're not just broke, they're box office kryptonite. Baldoni's dancing circles around them, playing chess while they're flailing at checkers, his team's laser focused, every leaked text, every courtroom wins a calculated jab at their armor. He's got no empire to lean on, just grit, a pile of receipts, and a hunger to survive. Lively and Reynolds are scrambling, tossing out PR stunts and lawsuit tweaks like life rafts. But the cracks are widening. Industry vets are glued to this mess, popping popcorn as the power shifts. Baldoni's a shark now, one studio insider mused. They thought he'd fold. He's eating them alive instead. The trio's fates hang on a razor's edge, and Tinseltown's betting big on who's left standing when the dust settles. Rumors are flying wild, and they're the kind of juicy that keeps gossip mills churning. Blake Lively scrambling to rally her It Ends With Us co-stars, but the response? A hard pass. Sources say she cornered Jenny Slate, her on-screen sister-in-law, pleading for a public Blake's a saint statement to prop up her crumbling tale. Slate, sharp as ever, sniffed out the manipulation from a mile off and shut it down cold. Jenny's not touching that mess, a set insider dish. She told Blake to figure it out solo. Nobody's risking their rep for this. Word is, Brandon Scalaner got the same SOS call and dodged it too, texting back a curt, "Not my fight." Lively's squad shrinking, and the silence from her castmates is deafening. Then there's the Taylor Swift bombshell, and it's a doozy. Lively's BFF since the Gossip Girl days, think matching Met Gala gowns and front row giggles at Eras tour stops, has allegedly slammed the door shut. Insiders whisper Swift's fuming, caught off guard when Lively's PR crew tried roping her into the narrative with sly. Taylor stands by her hint. She's livid, a source close to the singer spilled to Us Weekly. Blake dragged her name through this mud without a heads up. Taylor's not here for it. The fallout's brutal. Swift's unfollowed Lively on Instagram, skipped her annual Rhode Island bash, and left her off the latest squad post. X lit up with Swifties cackling. Karma's got a receipt too, turning Lively's golden friendship into another PR casualty. The SNL debacle? It's even messier than it looked. Whispers from 30 Rock say organizers begged Lively and Reynolds to skip the 50th anniversary bash. Emails flew, calls were dodged, but Reynolds' ego wouldn't budge. Ryan insisted, a production source groaned, said it'd be a power move to show they're unbothered. They muscled in anyway, plopping down among legends like Eddie Murphy and Kristen Wiig, only to tank the vibe with that lawsuit quip. Stafford's dish that Lorne Michaels winced from the wings, muttering, "This isn't the plan." Post-show, invites to after parties mysteriously dried up. Big wigs like Seth Meyers allegedly RSVP'd Nope to avoid their orbit. It was less a flex, more a flop that's still echoing. Baldoni's camp, meanwhile, is soaking it all in with glee. His lawyer, Brian Fredman, is thumbing his nose at Judge Lyman's no press warnings, strutting out of court to dish sound bites like it's a victory parade. "The truth's loud enough," he smirked to TMZ, clutching a folder thick with fresh dirt, rumored to include Lively's own crew turning on her. Baldoni's riding high, dropping cryptic X posts like facts over feelings that rack up likes by the tens of thousands. His team's reveling in the chaos, watching Lively's allies scatter while their underdog claws closer to the throne. They're loving every second, a legal analyst grinned. It's checkmate vibes. Hollywood's elite are bailing fast, peeling away like paint off a sinking ship. A-listers who once gushed over Lively's charm, think Reese, Margot, have gone radio silent, dodging her name in interviews. Reynolds, Deadpool. So where does this leave us? Baldoni's riding high, armed with receipts in a public that's eating it up. Lively and Reynolds are flailing, every smirk, every amendment sinking them deeper. This isn't just a lawsuit anymore, it's a career-defining cage match. Could this be the end of Hollywood's favorite duo, toppled by a director they underestimated? Or will they claw back with a miracle? One thing's for sure, the next twist could change everything. What's your take, team Baldoni or team Lively? Hit the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe. We're not done digging into this saga yet.